Welcome to Living Title IX with Betsy. That's me. This week we're talking about witnesses. We're not talking about complainants. We're not talking about respondents, but we're talking about witnesses who are going through this really challenging and difficult Title IX process. And I actually didn't intend to talk about this week. However, everything I started to talk about kept coming back to this. It's so crazy. I was recording about 3 other topics, and I came back to this very situation in every single other topic. So here we are. We're going to talk about witnesses. Last week, a couple weeks ago, some point recently in the recent past, I experienced a conversation with a witness, not somebody I was interviewing, but a witness who had gone through the Title IX process, who was nearing the end of the K-12 Title IX process and got some really hard questions through the Q&A phase. So for those of you who don't know, let's think about Title IX process. In K-12, we don't do cross-examination live, but we do cross-examination with a question and answer phase. So parties are able to send questions to each other and to the witnesses. And we think about, oh, it's not so bad. It's just questions, right? It's not, you're just a witness. I don't need to be as concerned about impact on you when I'm going through the motions with this piece, when I'm checking those boxes as a decision maker, when I am drafting those emails and doing all of those things. And this case or this situation made me really rethink that piece because here's the thing. This process, it's really hard on complainants, it's really hard on respondents, it's hard on families, also hard on witnesses, especially when those witnesses work in the same building as individuals who might be accused and or impacted. And we're asking them, we're telling them to report situations and make sure that they are doing those roles and following through in the way that they should. And then as soon as they do, what happens? It puts them in a process. It gets them interviewed. It may get them re-interviewed, and then it gets questions asked of them by parties, individuals that they may have been in a room next door with, or down the hall, or within their same district or institution, or whatever the case may be. And that can be really hard. And I don't think that I had put all of those pieces together ever and thought about the necessary compassion that goes into preparing, meeting for, and responding to witnesses. And so I just want to lay it out there because it's been on my heart and my mind that, one, witnesses matter. We already knew that, but being compassionate with them and understanding for them, it matters too. And anyone who's working in education right now knows that it's very hard and can be very emotional. And you're dealing with hard kiddos, hard adults, hard families, hard parents. And then you add in this Title IX process that's taking time out of your day, emotion out of your day, time out of your weekend, and to respond to these questions or whenever it is that you're doing them. And that can be hard. And so I just want us to, as Title IX professionals, as decision makers, be really mindful that compassion needs to continue into our meetings with our witnesses and our check-ins. And so for me, this meeting or this discussion about a witness's role kind of brought new light to this work for me. And I have always put so much thought into what a complainant email looks like, and so much thought into what a respondent email looked like. And I kind of caught myself like, what is the thought that's going into, where is the compassion that's going into a witness email, into the way that we're framing questions for witnesses, into the support that we're providing for witnesses who are going through this experience that's happening within their district or within their institution. And or outside witnesses, right? Sometimes witnesses may be external individuals as well, but I want us to shine a light on that space and make sure that we're responding with the same compassion and empathy to them, to witnesses, that we are our complainants, our respondents, and others. And so for me, it was thinking through how do we provide support to an individual who's going through the process? What types of options do we have, whether that's meeting with a counselor, whether that's having a conversation about, what does this question and answer phase look like? Maybe it's a call before we send that email to say, hey, you're going to get this email that's going to ask you hard questions. And they aren't coming necessarily directly from the decision maker, but they're coming from the other party or one of the parties. And of course, they might be a little bit slanted in one direction or another. And so how do we make sure that we are preparing witnesses to go through this process and explaining it to them, because they may be hearing from us much later than that first time that they were interviewed. And they definitely didn't sign up for it. Witnessing something is not signing up to be involved in a process. And we need to understand that and have compassion through it. So compassion meaning empathy plus action. So my action item for you is to work on the way that we are communicating with witnesses who are going through this really hard process. And perhaps I'm just sitting over here talking to myself today about how I need to rethink some things and help different districts or institutions or team members to figure out the best way to go about this work. And we need to include it perhaps in some more trainings and in some more thoughtful conversation. But for now, your takeaway for this week is finding compassion to provide for the witnesses who are going through your process. So good luck out there. You're doing awesome work. I hope that you remember to laugh at yourself this week, because we need to do that to support others who are going through it and to celebrate those small victories. For me, that small victory is realizing a place that we can really change the way that this process feels for individuals who didn't sign up for it to participate, those witnesses out there. So hoping that you're able to do the same. Have an awesome week. If you just are getting back from fall break, I hope it was lovely. If you're about to endeavor or currently endeavoring on your fall break, I hope that you are getting some rest and relaxation. If you're one of those crazy schools that doesn't have a fall break, I hope you're able to take a few days to just rejuvenate yourself and make your own. But awesome. I hope that you have the best week, and we will see you next time. Bye.